So today, of course, the centre has said a formal notification, of course, is awaited, but the centre has said that it is forming a committee to look into and study the aspects of one nation, one election, the proposed idea. And the committee is to be chaired by former President Ramnath Kovind. We've got the TDP spokesperson over the phone line as well. Mr. Reddy is joining us over the phone line. Sir, good morning to you. Sir, TDP, how does TDP see the idea of one nation, one election? Speculated agenda, sir, as far as, the special session of Parliament is concerned. But the centre has formed a committee today to look into the aspects of it. Where does the TDP stand, sir?
Good morning, Paulomi. We have, on behalf of Telugu Party, we have earlier mentioned also that we don't have any problem with the idea of one nation, one election, because in Andhra Pradesh, both the Assembly and Lok Sabha elections have been happening together from the past 5-6 terms. So we don't have any issue with it. We welcomed it before, and even now also we will welcome it. We also feel that it will be better for any government, if both the elections happen together, because if there are elections every 2-3 years, there will be some kind of hindrances to governance also, and the government machinery also. It is not good for any state for the government machinery to get disturbed every 2-3 years. So it is always good that both the elections happen at a time, and this has been happening in Andhra Pradesh, and we are pretty much okay with it. And we also, but there are few issues that the central government need to address. For example, what happens if a government loses its confidence, and if a government collapses halfway through its term? What will happen to the remaining term? You can't have president's rule when elections have to happen. So there are questions like that. And what about governments which have been elected recently? For example, like in Karnataka, the government got elected recently a few months back. Right. So what will happen to those governments? You cannot, say elections will happen again, say in 2-3 months. So there are certain issues which need to be addressed by the union government. But on the whole, basically, Telugu Party, we feel that it will be good if elections happen at a time, but there are certain issues which need to be addressed. And Andhra Pradesh, we are used to it. So people in Andhra Pradesh are also used to it, voting simultaneously both for Assembly and Parliament. Right. The people in Andhra also used to it, and we welcome it.
Okay, so like you said, people of Andhra Pradesh are used to it. People of Odisha are used to it as well, because they simultaneously vote for the Lok Sabha elections and the state assembly elections. So you see the benefits over here, sir, of holding synchronized Lok Sabha and state assembly elections outweigh the cons?
Yeah, see, the major benefit is, as I've said, instead of having elections periodically, where, whenever there is an election, there will be again code of conduct, and there will be, problems for the government to take decisions. The entire government machinery will be stuck for around 3-4 months. So, but to avoid all these kinds of things, if elections happen at a time, the government can function smoothly and fully for the entire 5-year period. So that kind of benefits are there if elections happen at a time. So we are seeing those benefits in Andhra Pradesh from the past so many terms. So that is the reason why we feel that it is better to have elections at one go, because to avoid these kind of problems for any government periodically. But there are certain issues. So now that a panel has been formed under the chairmanship of Honorable former President Sri Ramnath Kovind ji, we believe that they will look into few issues, few obstacles which are there to implement this idea of one nation, one election. If the committee is able to come out with acceptable solutions, all the political parties should be, the union government also should try to bring everyone onto single platform. They cannot bulldoze these kind of decisions. So we hope that this committee will come up with solutions where they are acceptable to everyone, and the union government also should try to reach out to all the stakeholders in the country and make this decision an unanimous decision. That is what we feel on behalf of PDP.
Right. Mr. Kovind Reddy, thank you so much for speaking to India Today, sir. So that is, of course, the TDP saying we welcome the idea of one nation, one election, because Andhra Pradesh, as we already know, goes to polls at the same time that Lok Sabha elections happen. So people of Andhra Pradesh clearly are used to voting simultaneously for the centre and the state.